Good morning, guys. So today we're going to start exploring our solar system, and we are going to start by exploring our solar system by exploring the sun, because the sun is the center of our solar system, and it's really, really important. So we're going to read a book that's called Let's Explore the Sun. So as we read this book, I want you to be thinking about the important facts that we know about the sun. Why is it important? What would happen if the sun wasn't around? So I want you to be thinking about all of that as we're reading, okay? Because at the end, we're going to be doing something special in a chart with those facts. A giant star. The sun is a star. It is a huge ball of gas. So our sun is a star. Why it looks so much bigger than the other stars is because it's so much closer than the other stars are to Earth. The sun is the star closest to Earth. It glows and burns brightly. 8 planets circle the sun. One of them is Earth. Earth, it is the third closest planet to the sun. So if you look, we've got Mercury, Venus, and then you have the Earth right here, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So this is our solar system, everything that circles around our sun. The sunlight makes life possible. It keeps Earth warm and it helps plants grow. So how do you think sunlight helps plants grow? Do you know? That's right. The plants actually use sunlight to make their food. If it didn't have sunlight, all the plants would die. So let's think about this. If we weren't getting sunlight, for one, we would freeze on the earth. It would get too cold. It's what keeps us warm. Even when the sun is down, it still keeps some of that warmth that's absorbed on our planet. Then, if we didn't have sunlight, the plants couldn't grow. And what happens when the plants can't grow? Then animals that eat the plants wouldn't survive. And then animals that actually eat the animals that eat the plants wouldn't survive. So everything on our planet would not be able to live without that sunlight. It says we need sun too. Without it, the world would be dark and cold. How would life be different if we did not have the sun? We kind of already talked about that, right? No one would be able to survive. Sometimes part of the sun look dark. They are cooler than normal. These are called sunspots. So if you look these little dots, that means that it's actually colder than it normally is on the sun, and those spots and sunspots. The sun is too bright to look at. It can hurt your eyes. People use special telescopes to look at the sun. That's one of the rules that you're going to learn is you never want to look directly at the sunlight because it's so bright it can damage your eyes. Look at this very special telescope that the scientist is using to help look at the sun. It's got special lenses in it that help stop some of those rays that would damage their eyes. Sometimes hot gas shoots out of the sun. It flies far into space. This is called a solar flare. So you can see it shooting out on this side right here. The sun rises in the morning and it sets at night. This happens because the earth spins. So the sun is not what's really moving. The sun is staying stationary, which means it's staying still. The earth is moving around it as it's going and turning around. So what happens is the earth turns towards the sun as it's turning, and we have daylight. When it turns away from the sun, that's when we have nighttime. And depending on which side of the planet you're on, different times you're at day and night. And the thing about the sun is we always say the sun is rising in the east. You're always going to see it coming up in the east, and it's setting in the west. Where is the sun? And you can see it drew us a map for us. The sun is right the center of our universe. All these circles are the orbits of the planets as they go around the sun. And you can see Earth's right there. So the sun is what's standing still. Everything else is going around it. And then we have a picture glossary. So we have planets. And it's telling us that planets are large bodies in space that circle the sun. A solar flare, remember, was a sudden outburst of energy from the sun's surface, and it sends out those gases. Sunspots are those dark spots on the sun. And then a telescope is an instrument that makes distant objects look larger or closer. All right. And then it's giving us some information if we wanted to go and learn more about it and an index. All right, guys, we're going to do something special. So we are actually going to connect to Seesaw, and I'm going to show you what you're going to be doing in Seesaw after we learned about the sun. All right, guys, we're going to be working on a special chart today, and it has some sight words that I know that you guys know. It says can, has, and is, and it says the sun. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be thinking about what can the sun do. So what can the sun do? What's something it can do? Keep us warm, can it? Keep us warm. So then you're just going to move that under can. Now you can also write on it if you want. Okay, what does the sun has? The sun has, oh, you could say the sun has sunspots. It's got those darker spots. Or you could say the sun has hot gases, or the sun has a round shape. Anything that you could say after the word suns. The sun is, what could you say about the sun? The sun is very hot. Very good. Very hot. Very hot. All right, so I gave you guys a few examples that you could add to this. What I want you to do is I want you to think of 2 examples for each thing. So you could say the sun can, and think of 2 more things that the sun can do. The sun has, and think of 2 more things that the sun has. And the sun is, 2 more things about the sun, okay? You could say the sun is round, the sun is big. There's lots of words you could use there that would be very quick, okay? All right, I'm so excited to see what you guys can come up with on our can, has, is chart, okay? All right, great job. I'll see you tomorrow.